guys, so today I wanted to talk about not something precisely, I don't even know how I'm going to call this video. I watched a video recently, I watched Lena's video, whose username is Just Kiss My Frog. I'm gonna put the link down below. There were many interesting things in this video. One thing actually really made me feel like, oh yeah, exactly. I just wanted to talk about that a bit more. Basically, she was talking about feminism and how she felt a difference between the level of awareness online and the level of awareness in real life. How some questions that would be seen as really stupid and obvious online were actually still kind of new and not really addressed often in real life. I'm gonna say real life a lot, and I'm not gonna do that all the time, but I'm doing it in my head. I can completely relate and agree with that. Actually, something I feel sometimes really vividly in my daily life, basically, both with feminism and veganism, because those two causes are so similar, and I could do a whole video talking about why feminism and veganism should be linked actually. But yeah, that's another topic. I never really talked about feminism online. The reason why I've never really talked about it is because I feel like I'm not qualified enough. I don't feel like I'm as informed and as I don't know, I just feel like veganism for me is obviously my heart a little bit more profound, I would say, and I'm not an expert of veganism, but I'm, you know, kind of. That's why I talk about it more often, but I do feel like this channel is going to cover feminism a bit more. Some people ask me, why do you bother still making videos, because you get so much hate sometimes, and that's true. When you talk about feminism or about veganism, you're going to get some hate and you're going to get some really stupid comments, but still you're doing it because first of all you want to inform people, because you want to just spread the word, and because you want to speak up no matter, you know, what comments you will get at the end, but also because you're part of the community, because you know that there are gonna be people who will respond in the same way, who will understand what you say and will use the same vocabulary as you, the same references as you, and kind of have, even though they don't necessarily come from, you know, the same social group, or they're not even the same age, or they don't even live in the same country as you, they will have the same background. Because even if you don't really belong to a community, which I don't think I really belong to any community, whether it's veganism or feminism, I don't feel like I really belong to any community. I do know that we are going to see, we're going to read, we're going to be exposed to kind of the same things at some point. If you're interested in feminism, chances are you're watching similar YouTubers, you've read similar books, you're following similar Tumblrs, or you're on forums if you're more the community type of person. And so you know there are people who are going to respond in the same way as you talk, and who are on the same wavelength, kind of. And that is very comforting, and that makes some ideas become simple, become the basics. For example, for me, veganism, it is very simple. For me, like the question of protein and the question of is it healthy or not, then obviously this is the healthiest. I know some people are gonna argue with that, but that is the healthiest diet out there, but for your body and itself, but also because of the pollution that, you know, meat produces, blah blah blah, which obviously has an impact on your body as well. So in both aspects, it is the healthiest diet out there. That's for vegans, the basics. Those are basics that you don't really address anymore. But when you get out there, when you go into the real world, you realize that these people have not been exposed to the same thing as you, they're not being told the same things, they haven't read the same thing, they haven't been watching the same things. Sometimes it gets really like disappointing and upsetting, but also sometimes you get this feeling like, why am I even bothering talking to you, and these people are stupid, and these people are saying nonsense. It's not like being scornful or thinking of them as less intelligent, but it is definitely a kind of reaction that you can get. And it happens also with feminism. Like, for example, last time I was visiting my friend in Belgium, I was just talking about things that for me, if I were to say that online, would be of no interest, because this is something that we annihilate and something we accept fully. I was just telling about how the patriarchy and the binary gender thing affects people and puts so much pressure on both men and women, but mostly on women, obviously. And my friend was like, oh my god, what are you even saying? Are you a feminist now? Yeah, because for her, it was shocking to hear that kind of stuff. It was not usual. It was not something normal. It was not something she had accepted as part of the basics, you know. The word feminist in her mouth was not positive at all. And when I said yes, I'm a feminist and so should you, she asked me, oh, are you going to stop shaving now? Which is so stupid, I know. And I mean, for most people who are feminists, the question of hair is also something of the basics. Like, women should be allowed not to shave if they don't want to, and women shouldn't feel like they are less of a woman if they're hairy, and men should be entitled to have hair or to have hairs or not have hairs as well. I was so shocked by her answer, and I was like going to get kind of mad, but then I realized that she hadn't had the chance to think about that. She hadn't had the chance to be offered and presented another idea of femininity, another idea of equality, and another idea of feminism. But what mainstream media give people, which is, you know, feminists hate men, feminists are hairy, big, and lesbian. And there's nothing wrong with being hairy, fat, or a lesbian, obviously. And she was going from her experience, from her knowledge, which was completely different from mine, because we hadn't been kind of raised. It's not even being raised, but we hadn't been, I want to say, nourishing our brains with the same content, basically. And I think it's important to remember that YouTube is not the whole world. YouTube is amazing, and so is the internet in general, obviously. Sometimes it can appear as a bubble, which is really comforting, and I definitely am guilty of that. Sometimes I just don't want to deal with the world anymore and I want to go on the internet, because even though there are trolls and, you know, haters on the internet, there are also so many amazing people who feel the same way as you do, think the same way as you do, and we will use the same language as you, the same references, the same rules, the same guidelines, basically. And it is so comforting and reassuring that it is nice. But it's also important to go out there and use different words, use different language, use different references to make people understand that it is not right to think of feminism and feminist as a bad word. It is not right to think animals are here for us to eat them, use them, exploit them, whatever. It's not right that women are still not equally treated as men. You have to, if you really feel strongly about a cause, I think sometimes get out of your comfort zone and out of your bubble with the people that think like you, because as much as it can be really enraging and frustrating, painful too, when you really feel strongly about something, sometimes, you know, defending it can be really painful. It is important, because YouTube, Tumblr, Twitter, whatever, is not the whole world and is not going to change anything. It can help change things, but if you don't expect more from the people out there, nothing's going to change. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say, because I think this video is already getting really long. I hope this was interesting. Let me know what you think about that. And if you're watching this video, Luna, hi, I love your channel. Guys, if you don't know her, go check out her channel. I hope you're all doing very good, guys, and I will see you later. Bye bye.